Hello, my name is Felipe. In this moment, I'm going to talk about the final lesson, final assignment in the lesson 14. So I would like to start with the difference between the static and non-static variable. So I would like to say that they both are member variables, meaning that both are associated with a class. So through the game, I'm going to show an examples of them that I can recognize better the static and non-static. So here in the main method, we can see there are 5 static variables. So I can recognize that because we have this keyword static. So we have static game equal null and other ones. And the difference with the non-static variable is here because we set the declaration for this variable only with the data type and the name of the variable. So the difference are where the memory is allocated because the static variable is allocated at the time of the loading of the class and only once in the program. And the difference between the non-static variable is that the memory is allocated whenever an object is created and is allocated multiply time whenever a new object is created. So it's important to note that the non-static variable is specific to an object. So this is an object, in this case, it's y, and usually and using this variable here to create a map that the program can display to the player. So this case is an object I can call only writing the name of the variable. I can do it like this because the variable is inside to this method. In this case, it's a static context. So for example, I can put this variable outside of the static context so the program shows a problem. So I can do it like this that I can avoid that problem that error. So here, for example, in the map class, this variable I'm calling it here. So I use this keyword this dot and the name of the variable that I can use. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. Okay, perfect. So I'm using this keyword and I can call the variable. Uh, Now I would like to talk about the array, the none, and array list. In our game, we use array list and a none. So there are differences between them. So for example, the node has the length in the list fixed, but the item the node never can be changed and they will be constant. So here in the space list class, we use it, the Xenon, to set the slow, modern day, and grayling items because we never will change it and we are going to use it for all the game. So you decide to change it and to add or remove other or remove anyone. And I would like to show how I could work with the array list, but I would like to clarify that the array has the length fixed and I can dynamically change the item in the list. But in the array list, it doesn't not have a length fixed. Also, I can add or remove item from the list without problems. So it contains the quantity we require. Also, we can increase or decrease dynamically the items. We use that because it's useful for us in this game. So here in the warm party view, I did create a new array list in this line 24. The name is names. So I would like to show how it is working. So I'm going to run the game. Okay, we have the welcome message and the program requires the player's name. So I'm going to write my name Felipe. So we have different options, but in this case, I'm going to play with the game. So I choose the option one, and the program displays my view, assign one parent view. So the first option is type names. So type the number one. So here is the arrays starts. So I use this loop that I can add the names I'm going to write, and I can have condition according to the requirements of the game. So it's necessary to remember that the wagon members are five. So this condition help us to fulfill with that. So the variable is going to start with number one. So in this line, the program is displaying the request to add a new game. So this one, and this variable receive or store the name I'm going to write. So in this case, I'm going to write the first numbers. For example, Felipe again, Charles, Peter, Lena. So in this case, this is the last name. So the all the programs needs to stop that the program needs to stop that I can recognize that we have only five names for this case. Okay, here I would like to explain that first we use the name of the array and we use this keyword add that the name I'm typing can store into the array. Okay, and this case or this line show us the array like this. Okay, the last one. Okay, perfect. So I can receive a message that we can correct the other one if I want, or I can leave. So I'm going to type 6. So perfect. So we can recognize how the array is working. Okay, so here, the other part I can show how can delete or remove the name from the array list. Okay, so the next point in the rubric I would like to talk is about how to throw, propagate, and catch custom runtime errors is in our game. So I would like to do it with the debug console that it can help us to understand better. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to work with the array also array list too. So I'm sorry here. So again, I'm going to do it fast. Yeah, okay. Uh, in this case, the program is here, but for example, we throws all runtime errors of this method here to gain control exception that it can evaluate the errors the program could have. So I'm going to run. Okay, I received the request to add the name. So I won't type anyone that can help us to recognize how the throw is working and how the catch in the program works. So evaluate and it jumped here to the other condition and it entered to the true. So here. So we have this message that recognize that there is an error here. So the next step is to catch. Okay, perfect. Receive the next instruction. So it receive or catch the error of the program and it necessary to receive the message that the player can recognize what happened. Like going to get message. Okay, perfect. So we receive this message because we have an error. So we didn't type anything. So we can recognize how throws and guys are working into the game. And it is working with this view class. So I can see that here, how throws and guys are working with the general classes. So I would like to explain about the character stream class and byte stream class. So it's important to know that a stream is a way of sequentially accessing a file. In streams, I can process the data one at a time. So first, a byte stream access the file byte by byte. Java programs use byte stream to perform input on and output of 8-bit bytes. So byte oriented reads byte by byte. So in this case, we didn't use byte stream because for this game, I need to read a file character by character. So the character stream works like this. So a character string is effectively and is useful when we want to process text files. The text file can be processed character by character, as like I said. So a character size is typically 60 bits. So in this class, no, I'm sorry, the method class, the main method, we use that. Here, the line 2074. So in this case, we use it when using the characteristic that it can read a file character by character. So we setting that here in this line. Okay. Okay. So I would like to explain how the game is working, and we can recognize that I can save the game in my computer. So I'm going to do it in this moment. So we explained that. So I'm going to do it fast. Play. I would like to add the names. Felipe, Arts, oh, Karen. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was wrong. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Arts, and that one is okay, perfect. So the next view is to choose an occupation. So I'm going to be a carpenter from Ohio. There is other array list to store the data for the items I'm choosing in this moment. So I'm going to buy food, 5 or 10. I'm going to buy clothes, and one pair number 5. We can recognize how the array is working too here. So I'm going to leave. Okay, perfect. So in the option 3, we can just see the map. So we are working. So we are not in never location because we are starting. And I don't know. I would like to see display version. So here, version, and in this part, I would like to save the game. So I'm going to choose the option 8. Name of the save. So I'm going to. Oh, sorry. I'm going to put that. I can save the game here in the desktop, in my desktop. And I would like that the name. game will be I receive this message again safe. So I would like to check that. So it's here, and we can recognize that the program is the game is saving the game in my computer. Okay, perfect. So okay, we can say how it's working with this view, save game view. Here is how we could see it, the process to save for saving game this game. I'm hitting game control and game name. Game party. Okay, this is the control. This is the process to save the data. So it's important to set first the string file path. This is string because we're going to write different words. But it's important to have this game, this variable that we can take the game and to save it. So this is the way to do it. Okay, so I can see that the game is working well and it's saving data and the arrays are working, array lists are working, and I can play with the game. So thank you very much and thank you teacher for your attention. Bye.